Here we go, it's the Indigo, sending the best of bliss, yes, so let's go. Bring the brainwaves to a higher plane, manifest your world, shaking the one day. Shift up, make moves inspired, change up, work first, taking you higher. Bring forth your serenity, hit first like destiny. Have to choose, substitute, and make it move to find the way in you. Touch the sky and level high, and spirits rise within the tree. So yes, I invite you to come on through. See how we do in the Indigo room, yeah.
Welcome to the Indigo room. You know, I got a sage, y'all, for the week. I know it's the midweek, but hopefully your sage lasted all week. Hello. Welcome to the Indigo room. We're a little bit early, so, we're just going to sage you. Here, make sure you get up close to the screen so that you can get some of this delicious sage. And this removes all the wicky wacky. Maybe you follow me on Instagram. Maybe you follow me on Facebook. And you saw my post today about sage. Because sage removes the wicky wacky. And like if you don't like coming to my house because, I burn sage. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to remove all the craziness. All the wicky wacky. From my experience. So. Okay, I think that's enough. Do you feel it? Get some of that sageness. Put it all over you, all over your body. I love sage, and I use it every day. I try to, not every day, every other day maybe. Sage in the bathroom, because I can't. Since we have the bird now, I can't sage. With the bird, because the smoke, I don't know, I'm nervous that the smoke might kill her. Anyway, I'm like, oh, let me open up the chat. Oh my goodness, that's the one thing I didn't do, was open up the chat. So welcome to the Indigo room, and my name is Sydney Chase, and this is where we discuss all things spiritual. And Linda is in the house. Hello, Linda. I didn't open up the chat. I forgot all about it. Because, I got 1,000 things going, and I just came home from work, and, I'm in New York City. And so this was the beginning of the week. We had last week we had like these unbelievable temperatures, and it was so freaking cold. It was cold. It was so cold it hurt your face. It was like Chicago cold here in New York City. So this week we had like 65 degrees yesterday. That's what it felt like. 60 degrees. I'm confused. I don't know how to dress. I don't know how to function. I don't know how to be. So today, I don't know if you could hear it. Cars are driving past. Windows are open. It's pouring rain outside. And the temperatures are starting to drop again. Anyway, I just want to say, welcome to the Indigo room. That was my little weather segment of what's happening in here in New York City and Staten Island. And I'm your host. I'm your host, and this is where we discuss all things spiritual. And by that, I mean that you are a non-physical spiritual being having physical human experiences, and life is supposed to be good. It's supposed to be fun. Life is beautiful. See, we couldn't get the picture up last week, but we got it up this week. Life is supposed to be delicious, fun, beautiful, and fabulous, even when there is a wicky-wackiness happening in your life. So I do want to first say hello to the folks that have joined us tonight in the chat. We have Linda, who's our moderator. Linda Patrick. Hello, Linda. Hello. I'm sorry I didn't get to say hi to you before, but I was flying in, I was flying in. Yeah. I did blow some smoke your way, Arzu. I did blow some smoke your way. And we have Arzu Mountain Spirit in the house. Now, some of you who have watched the Indigo Room previously, Arzu is my shaman. She helped me become a shaman with my third eye right here. And she's in the house, so welcome, Arzu. Melissa Monte's in the house. Welcome, Melissa. It's good to see you. Melissa is my newest friend. I met her 2 years ago on Facebook in a group. We liked the same comment. We were talking on the same post. We liked the same post, and we were chatting on that post, and we became Facebook friends, her and another friend of ours. All three of us became friends that day. And I met Melissa this weekend. She came with me to the Metropolitan Opera, and we saw Carmen together. And she's just a card. I love her. She's so funny. Such a great spirit. So much fun. We had such a delicious time. Thank you for hanging out with me, Melissa, this weekend. So hopefully I will get to hang out with some of all of you at Indigo Room. I hang out with Arzu all the time. Linda and I talk. We haven't actually met, so we're going to meet at some point when she comes to New York to visit her family. Barb is in the house. Hello, Barb. Good to see you. My Barb. Barb and I, we met on the Indigo Room too, just like we met Linda on the Indigo Room. So, we have a lot of people who join us and follow us on TalkShoe. So if you're on TalkShoe.com, we are still uploading podcasts for you. Yeah, we're still doing that. So it will be, a little bit later after we finish the show, but we still love all of our TalkShoe people. We love you. So hello, TalkShoe. I want to say hi to you all. Thank you for joining us in the Indigo Room. And I do want to give a shout out to our new subscribers. I had to write them down. Some of them I can see. Some subscribers I can't. They don't show up. If your subscription is private, then I really can't see. But I do want to say thank you for subscribing to the Indigo Room. You're awesome. So I want to say Margaret. I never can pronounce her last name correctly. She's a good friend on Facebook. Margaret, welcome to the Indigo Room. Bex R. Black Vent #1. I think I said that right. Brown Soul, welcome to the Indigo Room. Nancy Holzner, Melissa, we already said that. Betta, welcome. Gwen Days, Donna D, Henriette, and Molly. Those are the new subscribers. So I want to say thank you for joining us in the Indigo Room. Tonight, I have my phone already queued up. So, Linda, you can post the number. Thank you so much. Linda is our moderator. We love Linda. Thank you. Thank you. You can post the phone number in the chat. It is 302-202-1112, and the conference code is 650021. See, she's right on it. Linda's right on it. She's always right on it. She's like, poof, right? I don't even have to say, Linda, she's got the number. So hopefully you all had a great week. And I had a really busy day today. I'm just saying. My day went a little wicky-wacky. So, I had to do some work. I had to dig in my toolbox again, work on some things, tickle my amygdala, figure stuff out because woo! It was a crazy day. So life is delicious, but sometimes wicky-wacky ensues, right? That's what happens. This is what happens. We are spiritual beings spiritual beings having physical human experiences, and sometimes stuff gets wicky-wacky, I want to say. Excuse me. I do curse, just so you know. I cuss like a sailor. I got my water. Came out of my water bottle with my power words. If you don't believe me, it's okay, but it's true. Anyway, Arzu can tell you. I don't play. I don't play with that. So tonight we're going to tickle our amygdala before we get started. We're going to start on chapter 2 of the I Am Discourses. Man, I got a tickle in my throat. What the heck? We're going to start on the I Am Discourses tonight. Again, last week we were talking about Neville. This week we're going back to the I Am Discourses, and we're on chapter 2. You can see my book is like, look, let me show you. My book is all underlined. Can you see that? I be reading stuff and I just underline stuff all the time because I find that I forget, and if I don't underline stuff, then I forget where, I found certain things. So I like to underline my book. I know you're not supposed to underline books. I never liked to do that back in the day. I was like, don't mess up the books. Now, I underline like a crazy woman. So we're going to be doing chapter 2, the I Am Discourses. If you didn't get the book, you can click the links in the description and it goes to Amazon. I'm an affiliate. Well, I was an affiliate until they got rid of me. They said that my what did they say? I didn't have enough. What did they say? I didn't have enough referrals or something like that. So now I got to do it all over again. But in the meantime, the link is still there. I don't get credit for it, so it doesn't matter. Just click the link, buy the book. You'll need it. So we're going to tickle our amygdala. I don't know what I did with my tissues. Hold on one second. I have to get my tissues. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I left you. I didn't leave for very long. Not like before. I just left for a minute. I didn't leave a long time. It's just like I had to go get the tissues. Anyway, we're going to tickle our amygdala. And I'm glad you have the book too, Barb. I'm glad you have the book too. Do you underline your book like me? Because I'm crazy with that. We're going to tickle our amygdala. So if you don't know what that is, if you're new to the Indigo Room, you have no clue what we're talking about with the amygdala. Your amygdala is not something pornographic. Your amygdala is in your brain. It's right here. See, you used to be able to show you guys where your amygdala was when we did the, podcast. But now I can show you exactly. It's like right up here, near your temple, right above your ears, right in there. So when you are not feeling good or you're feeling kind of wicky-wacky or you have like a lot of fear going on, doubt, confusion, your amygdala is closed. Now you can Google this. You can find out about your amygdala. And when your amygdala is closed, your frontal lobe here in your brain, your frontal lobe, it's not working the way it should properly work. Here's the thing. If you got some fear going on and it's rightful fear, like, you need to run because a building is about to fall down, you need to run. All right? Don't stop and tickle your amygdala at that moment. That's not a good time to be tickling your amygdala. You need to run. However, if you're sitting at your desk like I was today, and you're being stressed out by login emails, they're just coming and coming and coming, and nobody has been able to figure out a way to get these people logged in, you might want to tickle your amygdala then. So that's a good time to tickle your amygdala. If you're running from a fire, that's not a good time. If you're driving your car, that's not a good time to tickle your amygdala. It's not a good time. Pull over and do that. So we're going to do that real quick, and then we're going to start discussing the I Am Discourses. So what I want you to do, if you feel like it, you don't have to, but I would suggest you try, is to get yourself a feather. Sydney, I don't have a feather. How come you didn't tell me I needed a feather? Because you're going to imagine that you have a feather. That's why. So we're going to imagine that you have a feather in your hand. It could be your right hand. It could be your left hand. It's up to you. Okay? So I have my feather. See? See it? What color is my feather? What color you think my feather is? I think it's purple. Purple and gold. Purple is the color of royalty, so you know I'm a queen. Anyway, you're going to imagine that you have a feather in your hands. You imagine what color your feather is. It's up to you. And then I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and actually see the feather in your hands between your thumb and your forefinger. You got it sticking up straight. And then I want you to imagine that you're feeling the bristles of the feather. What does it feel like? And you may want to make it long because we're going to stick it in our forehead. So you want it to be a little bit longer than a short feather. You don't want it to be a little tiny cockatiel feather. You want it to be like maybe I don't know, like a bald eagle feather or a flamingo feather. It's just long. Peacock feather. Try that. So you feel that, right? You feel the bristles of your feather. It's so deliciously soft and smooth. Okay. So now close your eyes and you're going to imagine you're bringing the feather up to the center of your forehead. Now, you can peek if you don't know where the center of your forehead is, but you should know, right? And then we're going to slide the feather over to the right and tickle the amygdala on the right. It's like an almond side. And this is what we're doing is opening up the amygdala when you tickle it. And then you're going to slide your feather over to the left side of your forehead and tickle your amygdala on the left. Now, typically, and then you want to pull your feather out. You could leave it sticking in there. I don't really care, but that's up to you. Typically, what happens is you should be smiling, feeling a little better. And if it didn't work for you the first time, try it again the second time. How's everybody feeling? Bob said at a stoplight. Wanda, hello. Wanda's in the house. So does that feel good? Linda says she's good and smiling. That's what happens when you tickle your amygdala. Hey, Melissa, did you tickle your amygdala? Bob says she's feeling good. Arzu says she loves that part. I love it too. I love tickling my amygdala. So I also want to say thank you. Thank you to Ray Harvey. Ray, he used to join us in the Indigo room. Actually, he used to listen to the podcast, after he got off from work because he works midnight shift. And he's back, just like everybody's back. We're all back together. The band is back together. Thank you for your love donation to the Indigo room, Ray. We really do appreciate it. And thank you for your note. I'm glad to be back too. So I'm happy that you are back with us, and thank you for the love donation. I'm going to do my best to keep on keeping on. So tonight, again, like I said, we're going to Funky00. Did I say that? Ray's your brother. He told me about you. Welcome. He said my sister told me that the Indigo room is back. He got his sister to listen to the Indigo room, and then I stopped, then I had a mental breakdown and I stopped doing it. I think the whole country had a mental breakdown. Well, most of us anyway. A lot of us, not most of us. Some of us didn't. Some of us were very happy. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying. That's what happened to me. So, welcome. It's good to have you. So she told him that the Indigo room was back, and he came back, and so, it's a whole family thing. We got the family in the house. We got the family up in here. That's right, Arzu. Yes. So welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right. So tonight, like I said, we're discussing the I Am Discourses. And last week we did chapter 2. Oh, and by the way, like, comment, and subscribe and ring the bell if you want to get notices about when we do live content. Okay? I just had to add that plug in. And you can email us at theindigo.room2@gmail.com. So hopefully you all had a great week, that you used some of the tools that we discussed in the previous weeks, a meditation, taking a bath, creating your list. What else? Drinking more water, being more mindful of drinking water. I got my water. I'm not playing. I told a coworker today that she needed to drink more water. I got all up in her business. I shouldn't have, I'm sorry, Fern, but you need to drink more water. If she's watching. Okay. There's one thing that I do want to share with you that I read every day from the I Am Discourses. I have this. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try to put it up real close. I have this posted in my bathroom, and I have this posted on my door when I walk out of the apartment because my front door is over that way. And I have it on my kitchen, my refrigerator, and my kitchen cabinet. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. All right. Can you see that? Let me see if I pull it back. Can you all see that? What it says? I am the governing love, wisdom, and power with its attendant intelligent activity, which is guiding. Okay, I can't read backwards. I was doing okay, right? I was doing okay. Which is guiding, which is acting today in every single thing that I think or do. I command this infinite activity to take place every moment and be the sustaining guard about me, that I move, speak, and act only in divine order. Woo! I'm reading it backwards and upside down. Okay, so the thing about the I Am Discourses and what Neville has taught us in the resurrection, as we, because next week we're going to be doing the resurrection again. But what the I Am Discourses also talks about is really like being more focused on using I am and calling on I am as often as you can during the course of your day. So I try to do that as much as possible, as I'm like, when I go out on my break or when I take a moment, I just take a moment to just decompress. I'll go to the ladies' room, decompress. I'll say this, or I'll say other I am statements. I'll call I am energy in. Because again, if you're not doing it as often, your I am presence is your God presence, is your spirit presence, is your higher self. I am that I am. And when Moses went to that burning bush and he was supposed to be telling the Israelites who God was, God said, well, Goddess, Spirit said, tell them I am that I am has sent you. And we often get this wrong. If you were being taught by Christians like me, or you're exploring religion and your own spirituality, whatever it is you're doing. Oftentimes that part, the I am part, gets left out. And we talked about Thomas, the book of Gospel of Thomas last week. I did put the video in the in the channel, so in the playlist, so that you can click on it and listen to it and tell me what you think. Did any of you get an opportunity to watch it? What did you think about what they were saying about the book of Thomas? Yeah, the book of Thomas, the Gospel of Thomas. And did you get a chance to read it? Maybe you've already read it. I don't know if you did, but it was really eye-opening for me to listen to a different take on it. And then we had G come on last week, and he was talking about the book of Thomas. So if you haven't checked out the video, do check it out. It is in our playlist, and it's under called the Gospel of Thomas or the Book of Thomas. And you can look at the video. It's like 26 minutes long. It really won't take a lot of time out of your day. But what it will do is help solidify for you what Neville's talking about and what the I Am Discourses is talking about. We're not going to read the I Am Discourses like we do with Neville, but because it's a lot. But what we are going to do, I'm going to highlight, I've highlighted, as you saw, I've highlighted some things that popped out to me. I would suggest that you do pick up the book, wherever you can get it from, and read it yourself. You know, I'm reading it, and I take what I take out of it. What I take out of it, you may get something different, and you may be able to add something to the discussion that I didn't see. So that's why I encourage everybody to read. You know, it's not about just me reading it and telling you what's in the book, but it's about you being able to find out what works for you and how this can benefit you. I find that it benefits me on a regular basis, every day, daily. I am that I am, my I am statements. But I'm going to read the invocation because it's really very uplifting. And this is the Raise Your Vibe tribe. So that's what we're here to do. The invocation, thou mighty infinite presence, thou all-pervading healing presence, descend and do thy work. Thou mighty infinite intelligence, give forth thy confidence and strength. Fill the mind and body of each one with thy radiant presence. Fill every cell with thy radiant presence. Prove thy presence in thy conquering mastery and power. Mighty master presence within each one, come forth, erase this outer human self and hold thy dominion now and forever. There is but one intelligence, presence, essence, and love, and this thou art. Pour forth thou radiance through these outer cloaks of flesh and command thy perfection to thus be manifest and sustained. So that is the invocation from Saint Germain. And the command is divine. You may want to write this down if you don't have the book. Wow, I need some water. My throat is dry today because my apartment is hot. It's like the tropics in here today. I guess I should take off the scarf, right? That would make sense. Woo! Because I was walking the dog. So I have my scarf on because it's a little chilly outside, but it's hot in here. Command, divine presence, pour thy radiance through this mind and body, and see that thy wisdom directs always in every outer activity. See, this is why I love this book. I just reread that, and it's just hit me a certain way. And I love the fact that these discourses have so many different I am statements that you can use throughout your daily life, even for your car and your transportation. I've now used one that says for the ferry, for the train, and for the bus every morning, and says, thank you, I am, for being the bus driver, driving the bus. Thank you, I am the ferry captain, for being the captain of the boat. Thank you, I am the train conductor and train engineer for getting us to our destination safely. That's how I go to work every morning, and that's how I come home every night. That's what I put out into the universe. You can use I am because everyone is I am. We're all I am. I am, you am, she am, he am. We're all I am. And I know it's kind of, for me anyway, it was kind of difficult to wrap that around my mind, that I am, because I say I am, we all say I am going to the store, I am happy, I am joyful, whatever. But when you're saying I am and you're referencing something outside of yourself, it feels weird. I don't know. It felt weird to me. Did it ever feel weird to any of you? Thank you, I am the bus driver. I'm not a bus driver. Are you a bus driver? That was a little wicky-wacky in my mind. I had to what? That doesn't make sense. But it really does make sense. If I am using I am power, it stands to reason that the bus driver is I am too. Stands to reason that the ferry captain is I am too. Stands to reason that Arju, Linda, Funke, Wanda, Melissa, Barb, we're all I am. G, we're all I am, right? So that's what this discourse is about. So let us be conscious of the healing radiance filling this home. You can use it for your home. Apparently, according to the books, if you get really good at it, you get really good sustaining your I am presence. According to the books, now I haven't had that experience yet, but according to the books, your house can get cleaned without you having to lift a finger. I don't know. That has not been my experience. I need that. I need I am presence to work on my apartment and make sure that it stays clean. But that's what I have read. So, the other one that I wanted to, I read the wrong, Linda, why didn't you slap the daylights out of me? I read the wrong invocation. The invocation is, thou infinite, all-pervading presence, thou mighty master within each human form. We acknowledge and accept thy full presence manifest within these forms and within the human form of every individual that God has sent forth. We give praise and thanks that at last we have become aware of this mighty presence to whom we can turn and recognize the fullness of God's activity. The I am of all things. That's just what I said. But I didn't read that, I got downloaded. Thank you, I am. Thank you for your help. Greetings to you all. So, the beginning, it talks about Jesus. And it says, when Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life, he gave forth one of the mightiest utterances that can well be expressed. Do you know that we can say that too? I know, right? It feels kind of presumptuous saying I am the resurrection and the life. But according to Neville, we are. And according to Saint Germain and Godfrey Ray King, we are as well. I'm on page 12 now, Linda. I'm not blaming you. It wasn't your fault. It was my fault. I love you. But I am the resurrection and the life. He gave forth one of the mightiest utterance that can well be expressed. When he said I am, he did not refer to the outer expression, which is what normally we do. He did refer to the mighty master presence God within, because he repeatedly said, I of myself can do nothing. It is the Father within the I am that doeth the work. So he said, I am the light, the lighteth every man that cometh into the world, prefacing every statement of vital importance with the words, I am. He said, I am the door which no man can shut. And when you recognize and fully accept I am as the mighty presence of God within you, in action, you will have taken one of the greatest steps to liberation. I use I am the resurrection and the life constantly on a regular basis. I mean, not like all day long I'm saying that. If I'm working on something, obviously I can't think two thoughts at the same time. We can't hold two thoughts at the same time. It seems like we do that sometimes. It seems like you have two thoughts going on at the same time, but you really don't. You only have one. it will manifest, and you can roll into other thoughts. You can go from one thought to the next thought to the next thought to the next thought to the next thought, but it's only one thought that you can occupy at the same time, one time in your mind. You can't have two thoughts. You have milliseconds between thoughts, and it seems like you have a lot of thoughts, but you really only have one. And I am the resurrection and the life is something that I use as I'm walking, as I'm, I don't drive my car because I don't have a car right now, but as I'm on the bus, as I'm walking around in the city, if I'm in the house, I take a shower. Like G says, sometimes I sing it. I am the resurrection and the life. I make up songs because it is very powerful to use. It does feel kind of strange to say that because, I'm not Jesus. Who do you think you are saying I am the resurrection and the life? But when you recognize and fully accept I am as the mighty presence of God within you in action, you will have taken one of the greatest steps to liberation. Now mark you the utterance of the truth that I am the open door which no man can shut. If you can but realize it, you have the key that allows you to step through the veil of flesh, carrying with you all consciousness that you have generated or accumulated, which is imperfect, and there transmute it. In other words, raise it into the perfection into which you have stepped. And you can come, you can go back the other way. You can go the wicky-wacky way. But why go the wicky-wacky way when you have the ability to go forward? And Jesus said to us, as Neville has told us that, or, what the scripture says, and it's allegory, these things and more shall you do. But of course, we've been told all along that we're imperfect beings and we can't do that. You can't be that. You can't be like Jesus. You can't have that. You can't raise the dead. You can't raise your body from the dead. You can't ascend. You're imperfect. You're sinful, full of sin, and you'll never be like Jesus. So you have to be able to go through Jesus in order to be able to have things. Jesus called us his brothers and sisters. He called himself the Son of Man. We all chose to make him above us and separate ourselves from our true God self. Your God is nearer than you think. Your kingdom of heaven is within you, inside of you. Many of us are waiting for the kingdom of heaven to, from the heavens to open up, the sky to open up, and God to show up and rescue us from our craziness that we have created here on the planet. Yep, that's what we're waiting for. But guess what? The kingdom of heaven is within you. And it's waiting for us. It's waiting for you. It's waiting for me to recognize that it's inside. And we have the ability to unlock the door. So your I am is how you can do that. If you look on page 14, it says your ability to express or send forth thought and feeling is God acting in you. Now, we read last week when Neville said, oh, did we read that? Or did I read it? Well, I think it was that I read it, but I'll say it anyway. Neville says that, our thought can affect others. And we've talked about that in the Indigo room. But our thought can affect others. We have telepathy. Yeah, I did mention that last week, now that I think about it. So we have telepathy. And we can literally influence others. Now, here's the thing about that. You can't influence me and make me believe I'm sick if I don't believe in sickness. It doesn't work. But if I believe in sickness, and you say to me, oh, Sid, you look kind of peaked. Are you coming down with something? Now, I may not be sick. But because I believe that I believe that I can become sick, right? I can, right now, at that moment, I can become sick. So if you believe in death, or you believe in sickness, you believe in illness, you believe in lack, you believe in a whole lot of things that are, not necessarily true of us, someone who has the power of suggestion or whose imagination is a lot better than yours right now can influence you to believe something that is not necessarily the case right at this moment, because we have that belief within us. So this is what the I am statement is also saying. Your ability to express and send forth thought and feeling is God acting in you. If, of course, hopefully you would send something good to me. That would be nice. I'm still working on my whole money belief thing. I haven't found a way to win the lottery, but I'm just kidding. You having free will, it is entirely up to you to qualify the energy sent forth in your thoughts and feeling and determine how it shall act for you. No one can say, how shall I know how to qualify the energy? For everyone knows the difference between destructive and constructive thought, feeling, and action, right? We all know what's constructive and what is helpful. We also know what tears down and what doesn't feel good. I hate you. You make me sick. That does not feel good, right? I love you. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for joining us in the Indigo room. It's good to see you. That makes you feel good. Made me feel good just saying it. So we all know what's constructive and destructive. So we have the power to send constructive thought, to send delicious thoughts to someone. Now, here's the thing. Here's the kicker, which I love. If they can't accept it, if they can't accept the love and the thoughts that you're sending to them, guess where it goes? Where does it go? It comes right back to the sender. Return to sender. So if I send you beautiful thoughts and you can't even believe that about yourself, you can't accept it about yourself, or you block it subconsciously or consciously, it returns back to me. I get it back. So no matter what, the energy has to go somewhere, and it has to be used by somebody. So if I don't accept what you're sending to me, it comes right back to you. So there's no waste. I love that. I love how the universe doesn't waste a thing. No thoughts, nothing. Now, it also works if you send a wiki-wacky out. You're sending hateful thoughts to somebody. Oh, I hate her. I wish she would die. You know where that energy comes if she can't accept that? Right back here. Return to sender. So when we read the I Am Discourses in the beginning, when we first started, and we were reading the Ascended Masters, it talked about a king that had come to the area to kill, and the king that was I can't remember the name of the king and all that, but I remember the story clearly. And the one that came to kill and conquer, and the reigning king sent him love, right? But he was protective. It was protective love. Now you have to protect yourself, but he sent protective love to this one that was coming to kill the town. Bye, Melissa. Bye, Melissa. But thank you for joining us. But the energy came back. I mean, the love that he sent out, because the gentleman could not accept it, it came back to the king, and the guy died. His whole army dead, because they couldn't accept the love. So the admonition, we're on page 15. The admonition has been humanity through many centuries. You cannot serve two masters. Why is this so? First, because there is only one intelligence, one presence, one power that can act. And that is the presence of God acting in you. When you turn to the outer manifestation and give all kinds of expressions and appearances power, you are attempting to serve a false, usurping master, because the outer expression can only find an appearance through the use of God's mighty energy. So if we can't serve two masters. You can't. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You kind of halt your own energy when you're trying to focus on what's going on the outside, and you said, well, I got to pay attention to what's going on the inside tonight, but tomorrow I'm going to be focused on what's happening on the outside. If you focus on the inside and stay on the inside and pay attention to the inside as much as possible, as much as you can, the outside will start to work in your favor. But we can't serve two masters. We can't be running, focusing on what's happening. I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do. That's why we use the create your list thing. You know, we do what we're going to do, and then we put stuff on the God side and allow God to handle the stuff, right? The big stuff. But you can't serve two masters. There's only one intelligence, one presence, one power that can act, and that is the presence of God within you. Kingdom of heaven is within you. The kingdom of God is within you. Your ability to lift your hands and life flowing through the nervous system of your outer form is God in action in your body through your mind. Thus, you will see that it is no longer possible to go on without understanding that every move you make is God in action. Every thought in your mind is God's energy, which enables you to think. When you know this is a fact, there is no disputing it, and why not adore, give full confidence to, trust in, and have faith in and accept this mighty presence of God in action in you, instead of looking to the outer expression, which is clothed, qualified, and colored by the outer or human concept of things, regardless of the one mighty presence which enables the outer to express. Stop looking outside. Pay more attention to what's going on inside. Like we say, do meditation, focus, be calm, relax, use your imagination. Sometimes being quiet for 5 minutes, you'll get the answer. You stressing about it, trying to figure it out, doesn't always work. So sometimes if you just be calm and you just get into your God self, your go within, the answer pops up. You ever try to think of something? You're thinking all day long. I can't remember the name of the song. I can't remember the name of the store. I don't know where it is. You lay down, and as soon as you lay down on your pillow, you go, oh, forget it. Never mind. Boom. There it is. Appears. Happens to me all the time. Page 16. The unfortunate thing in humanity, which has caused such rampant selfishness and unprecedented condemnation of each other, is the idea of claiming ownership to these wonderful blessings of God. Yeah, we know people like that, right? The warning that should be placed before every student and individual is to guard against the desire of the outer self to claim power of its own. If every act of the personality God were given full credit, transformations unbelievable could not help taking place in the one, thus giving full credit and power where it belongs. There is positively abundant supply, omnipresent, but the demand for it must be made before the law of the universe permits it to come into the expression and use of the individual. The demand. Now, oh God, could you please help me? The demand. You must be confident. When you demand something, when you're demanding your rights, when you're demanding your place in the space, you're confident, right? You're not mealy-mouthed and saying, please, can I stay here? Can I have the seat? You're like, no, I'm taking that seat, right? Or I'm making my stand. So you must command this power to act within you. I know that seems contrary to what we may have been taught, to beg and plead and ask God, ask Goddess, ask Universe, Source for things. But you must be a little bit, you got to know that it's already done and the power is within you. And you put your shoulders back. It may feel a little awkward at first. Put your shoulders back and be a little bit confident and command the universe to handle certain things for you and command the law to work for you. The individual having free will must consciously, with full determination, make the demand, and it cannot fail to come forth into expression no matter what it is, so long as the individuals hold an unwavering, determined consciousness. It's not forcing it, it's a knowingness. You just know. You're not going to stress about it. You're not going to worry about it. You're not going to be doubtful about it. You're not going to, it takes time to get up to that point. I know you have to work on it, but that's something that we can all do together. The I Am Consciousness. You might want to join our I Am Statements group on Facebook. I'll put the link for it in the description when the video is done. You can join us there and you can put your I Am Statements up. Other people put I Am Statements up. Maybe you can use theirs, but maybe you want to put yours up, and it will help you to stay focused. The simple statement used with sincere determination, I am the great opulence of God made visible in my use right now continuously, will bring to the individual all he can possibly use. Again, it's not something that you're going to do once. It's not something that you're just going to do twice a week. It's not something that you're going to do 3 times a month. It's something that you're going to do continuously because we're not used to this type of energy. So you have to figure out a way to keep it sustained. So that means that you're going to have to focus a little bit. You're going to have to do a little work. You're going to have to do a little energy work. And it may feel a little bit hard in the beginning. You're like, oh God, Sydney, I can't do this every day at one day. Are you kidding me? I got to say, I am the great opulence of God made visible in my use right now continuously every day. Who's got time for that? Well, I have time for that. The reason why I have time for that is because what I was doing before I wasn't working, right? So do you have the opulence and abundance right now? I don't know. Do you? All of it. The one that, all of it. Do you have all of that right now? Just a question I'm asking. Because if you don't, there might be a reason why. So why not try it? Hey, give yourself 30 days and see what happens. See how much time, how often you can do that. How it works for you. On page 18, if they were to analyze themselves conscientiously, they would find in their feelings lurking doubt or fear. Talking about us, the students. For both these are feelings. Naturally, this neutralizes to a large extent the constructive force that would quickly bring about the fulfillment of the desire or demand. We got wicky-wacky happening. Oh my goodness, it's 9:52. See, I'm going to open up the phone lines because this is a long discourse. We're almost done. But I'm going to open up the phone lines too. And Linda, are you on the line? Let me unmute the phone. I got a new phone. I got a new phone. And I got it on Sunday. So, it lasts longer. The battery. All right, let me unmute everyone. Okay, it's off. Hey, who's on the call? I heard somebody on the call. No, okay, nobody. No, oh, okay, that's not you. I heard somebody ticking on the phone. Okay, so with the simple understanding, the word failure, this I had to highlight several times today and write it down. The word failure would be completely wiped out from this world, in his world or her world, and in a very short time from our consciousness, because we would see that we were wielding intelligence and power that could not fail. So in a very short time, if we were doing this for real, if we were really, really using these I am statements as Saint Germain talks about, we could remove the word failure from our experience. So I say, why not try it? Right? Why not try it? Why not give it a shot? Thank you, Linda, for posting the group. Thank you, Linda, for posting the group in the chat. See, this is why Linda can never go anywhere. You can't join another show, Linda. All loving Father, that any of his children, okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. Thus, students and individuals come into their full dominion as God intends. It was never intended by the great, all-wise, all-loving Father, Father, Mother, God, that any of their children should want for a single thing. But because they allow their attention, we allow our attention to become fixed on the outer appearance, which is like the changing sands of the desert, they have knowingly or unknowingly cut themselves off to a large degree from that great opulence and intelligence. We've cut our own self off. We're out here, in the desert or in the ocean. Lifeline is thrown. Here you go. Use I am statements. Here you go. Here, look, right here. And we say, oh no, I'm good. I'm just gonna lay out here in the desert and be thirsty. Bye. We'll leave. Bye, Arzu. We're gonna lay out here in the desert and be thirsty. So the great opulence is their birthright, which everyone can have, who will again turn to the I am, the active principle of God forever within himself as the only source of active life, intelligence, and opulence. The last thing, again, is I am the resurrection and the life. This statement will not only purify the thought, but is the most powerful, lifting, adjusting force that can be used for the correction of this greatest of barriers to the full height of spiritual attainment. And, we're almost done. Yeah, we're almost finished. See, we have to take little excerpts because otherwise we wouldn't get through the whole chapter because it's a long chapter. The statement, anyone who begins to feel the inner impulse to correct this condition and will use the statement earnestly, whatever the condition that you have, and continuously will raise this marvelous current of energy to the highest center in the brain and as was originally intended. I ask any student to try this and watch the results in his own mind and body. Feel deeply this statement of Jesus. I am the resurrection and life. Repeat it 3 times, either silently or audibly, and notice the lifting of consciousness which you will experience. There is only one means of overcoming or raising out of anything. That is, after you know what it is you are to raise out of, to take your outer attention completely away from it, fixing it firmly upon the above statement. Any condition in the outer experience that one wishes to overcome can readily be accomplished by the use of this statement, as well as using it to change the flow of the misdirected energy. So if you use it often enough, you'll start to feel better. You'll start to feel uplifted. You'll start to notice things in your own physical body, in your own experience, start to change for the better. I know I'm finding that is working for me. So you might want to try it for yourself. In 1 year, I had one student who felt the inner impulse to redirect the mighty energy, and the use of this single statement alone enabled her, with little assistance, to raise her own body. In 1 year, a marvelous transformation took place in her entire outer appearance. her entire outer appearance changed. You only have this power of the I am. You not only have this power of the I am, but as individual assistants also when these statements are used. Students think things do not work because they do a thing today and forget all about it next week. That happens to me. Maybe it happens to you. But these tools, if you write some of these I am statements down, put them in places where you can see them, put them by your door when you're walking out in the morning. I have mine up right by my keys. So if I grab my keys, I see that statement that I put up there this morning. I put up for you guys. I have it by my mirror. Linda says it happens to her. Yeah, because, we get the monkey mind happening, it's jumping all around in our. So you have to put up reminders. You have to put up things that allow you to be able to remember, oh yeah, I got to do my I am statements. It's in my bathroom. And sometimes in my bathroom, I'm, getting ready for the morning. I got all kinds of, I got to get out. I got to do this. Got to get the dog. What am I going to do next? And it's right by my mirror. And I might not even pay attention, right by the bathroom mirror. It's right there on the wall. And I will, some days, just not pay attention to it. And then as I'm heading out the door or I'm going in the kitchen to do something, I go, oh my goodness, I didn't do that this morning. And I remember and I stop and I'm mindful and I read my I am statements aloud. I have it in my book. I carry it with me so that I can read it on the train and use it periodically to remind myself to use my I am statements more often and more, to step into my own power. So students think things do not work because they do a thing today and forget it all next week. I am the full comprehension and illumination of this thing I want to know and understand. If you are needing the desire for light and truth in the presence of Spirit of God in you. If one does not take the ability or the attitude, if one does not take the attitude, I have the ability to do this, he never in the world can accomplish the thing that he wishes to do. So if you keep saying, I can't do that, Sid, I don't have time for that, Sid, or it's never going to happen, then you will never have the ability to, it won't happen. So you can't take that attitude. I encourage you to have a better attitude and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. I know here's my example of trying. I'm going to take this box, this tissue box, and drop it on the floor. And now I'm going to try to pick it up. I'm going to try to pick it up. I'm either going to pick it up or I'm not going to pick it up. I can't try to pick up the box. I have to pick up the box, right? So there's no try, like Yoda says. There's only do or don't do. There's no try. So I'm saying give yourself the benefit of the doubt and go ahead and do 30 days worth of your I am statements. Do 30 days of reading the I Am Discourses. And we're going to close with that tonight. We're finished with that. You have to take the attitude that I can do this. I am, in Spanish, is yo soy. I use that also as I use Spanish often, and it's just another way to enjoy the effect. That's what Barb says. That's great. I am, yo soy. Use that. I have to start to learn Spanish again. I know yo soy means that. But has anybody been doing their I am statements this week before we go? Raise your vibe tribe hashtag. If any of the things that we talked about, you find them useful, write it in the comments below. Let us know. How do you use your I am statements to help you? Are you using your I am statements daily? So why don't we this month, today, what's today? February 6th, start from today, 30 days of using I am statements that are powerful and work for you. Join us in the I am statements group on Facebook. Linda put it in the chat. I will also put it in the comments below. So you can click the link and you can join us there. You can find some I am statements that someone else is using, or you can make up your own. That's all we post there. You can't come into the group and start posting, all kinds of other stuff. We post our I am statements. We use pictures. We use whatever we can, even if it's video, things that are useful to help us to remember the truth of who we are inside. Start from today, February 6th. Yep. So we're going from today, February 6th, to March 6th, using your I am statements. How does that work for you? That's what I want to know, because I'm nosy. Because what you're doing may help me too. Don't forget. I'm doing the Indigo Room and I'm sharing with you, but I'm sharing with you because I want to know what you use, because it might help me too. And I will give you what I use because it might help you. So what you do may help me, and what I do may help you. That's how it works. So if you're doing your I am statements, I would like to know, how are you using your I am statements? Put it in the comments below. We would love for you to join us next week. Somebody is on this phone. This phone is not just clicking by itself. Hello? Who's on the line? But you can join us next week, because we're going to be discussing chapter 2 in The Resurrection by Neville, because these two books dovetail with each other. And Neville, again, if you don't know who Neville is, we have some videos also in the Indigo Room channel. What is prayer? We did that last week, so that's in there. So next week we'll have some more videos for you to check out Neville, but I'm going to put some Neville videos in there for you that I love, that I listen to on a regular basis and are very helpful. How to use your imagination. What is prayer? He's just got so much to share with us. So I'm going to put that in our YouTube playlist, our Neville YouTube playlist. And check it out. Raise your Vibe Tribe, like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you get notices of when we're doing live content. I want to thank Arzu Mountain Spirit for joining us today. Linda Patrick is in the house as usual. We have Melissa, who joined us, my new friends. And Barb is in the house, Barb Jacobs. Wanda is in the house as well. And our newest subscriber, Funk K 00. It was great to have you all here with us today. And we will be back. Yes, Instagram. I forgot about Instagram. So you can join us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram, and it's Raise Your Vibe Tribe. It's the Indigo Room Show on Instagram, and you can follow me at Sydney Chase on Instagram as well. So if you find the Indigo Room Show, you'll find me. And you can follow us all there. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on, all social medias, and we're here. So subscribe, and we'll be back next week discussing Neville. And my son, like I told you, is moving to Japan next month. And so he's here. And so we were busy this week. So I didn't get any new videos out. But I promise you, we did not forget about the 10 ways to raise your vibration. And the rest of the videos will be up in the coming weekend and next week. So you'll be able to do that. Follow along with that. And then we're going to be adding some I am affirmation videos as well for you to focus on. Some of the things that I use that's helpful, and maybe you'll find them helpful too. What I would love is if you all were interested in making your own short little I am affirmation videos, I am statements, and sharing it with the Indigo Room. We'll put it in the playlist as well. It doesn't have to have your face if you don't want to. I am just saying, if you would like to do that, I would love for you to submit them to the Indigo Room, and the ones that we think are really great, we'll put them in the playlist. Why not? Get your statements, get your I am statements out there. Your I am statements may encourage someone else. Just saying. So think about that. And you can email your videos. It could be like about a minute or two, maybe 5 minutes, no more than 5 minutes. Your I am statements. Email them to the Indigo Room at Gmail, the Indigo Room 2 at gmail.com. So I will see you next week. Get your Neville on, get ready. And remember, life is beautiful. Remember that you are source energy right here in the physical body. Remember that you can be, do, and have anything that you desire. And remember that you are magnificent and unique. Also remember that it is not being extraordinary that makes you unique. It is your uniqueness that makes you extraordinary. I love you and thank you for joining us here in the Indigo Room tonight. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Same station, same time, 9 p.m. till 10 p.m. Eastern. Have a great week. Bye. Thank you, Linda. Bye, everyone. Have a great week. Love you guys.